It was almost Christmas. Santa was in the workshop. He was bored. Making toys was fun, but Santa wanted something new. He wanted to upgrade his sleigh. Santa loved technology. He read about it online. He saw a new AI system. It was called Jinglebot 3000. Jinglebot could fly the sleigh. Santa thought this was a great idea. He ordered it right away. Santa couldn't wait. He imagined flying in a high-tech sleigh. He thought about all the cool features. He would be the coolest Santa ever. The Jinglebot 3000 arrived. Santa was so excited. He opened the box. It had all sorts of gadgets. There was a turbo boost button. There was a voice-activated map. There was even a hot cocoa maker. Santa installed everything. He put the Jinglebot in the sleigh. It looked very different. No more old-fashioned sleigh. This was a high-tech machine. Santa was proud. He couldn't wait to try it out. Santa called the reindeer. They looked at the sleigh.
Not impressed.
They liked the old sleigh. It was reliable, but Santa was too excited to notice. It was Christmas Eve. Santa was ready. The night was filled with a magical aura, twinkling stars, and a sense of excitement that could be felt in the air. Santa had been preparing for this night all year, and now the moment had finally arrived. He put on his hat. It wasn't just any hat. It was his iconic red hat with a fluffy white pom-pom at the end. As he adjusted it, he felt a surge of energy and determination. This hat had seen countless Christmases, and it was ready for another adventure. He got in the sleigh. The reindeer were nervous. They had been through many Christmas Eves, but this one felt different. There was an air of anticipation and a hint of uncertainty. The reindeer exchanged glances, their bells jingling softly in the cold night air. They had never seen Santa like this. He seemed more excited, more energetic, and there was a twinkle in his eye that hinted at something extraordinary. The reindeer couldn't help but feel a mix of excitement and apprehension. Santa was too busy playing with the buttons. The sleigh was no ordinary sleigh this year. It was equipped with the latest technology, and Santa was like a kid in a candy store, eagerly exploring all the new features. He pressed buttons, flipped switches, and watched as the sleigh's dashboard lit up with colorful lights.
Santa, are you sure about this? The elf's voice trembled with concern. He had never seen the sleigh like this before, and the thought of flying through the night sky at such high speeds made him uneasy.
"Jinglebot 3000, activate!" shouted Santa. The sleigh lit up. It was a sight to behold, with lights flashing and the hum of advanced machinery filling the air. Santa's excitement was contagious, and even the nervous reindeer couldn't help but feel a thrill of anticipation. It was like a spaceship. The reindeer were scared. They started running. The sleigh took off. The ground disappeared beneath them as they soared into the night sky. The reindeer, though initially frightened, soon found their rhythm and began to enjoy the exhilarating ride. It was much faster than before. The sleigh zoomed through the sky, leaving a trail of sparkling stardust in its wake. Santa could feel the wind rushing past him, and he couldn't help but let out a joyful laugh.
Turbo boost activated. The sleigh surged forward with an incredible burst of speed. The reindeer, now fully in sync with the sleigh's advanced technology, galloped with renewed vigor.
The sleigh went even faster. It was a blur against the night sky, a streak of red and gold that moved with astonishing speed. Santa held on tight, his heart pounding with excitement. It zoomed through the air. Santa laughed. The joy of the moment was infectious, and even the reindeer seemed to be smiling as they flew through the night. He was having so much fun. This was a Christmas Eve like no other, and Santa was savoring every second of it. The thrill of the ride, the beauty of the night sky, and the promise of delivering joy to children all over the world filled his heart with happiness. He didn't see the dark clouds ahead. As the sleigh sped forward, the sky began to change. Dark, ominous clouds loomed on the horizon, threatening to disrupt the magical journey. But Santa, lost in the joy of the moment, was blissfully unaware of the approaching storm. The snowstorm hit fast. The wind howled, the snow swirled. Santa couldn't see. He checked the Jinglebot. It was flashing red.
Warning! Warning!
The Jinglebot was going crazy. It couldn't fly the sleigh in this weather. It started pressing buttons randomly. The turbo boost went on and off. The hot cocoa maker started spitting out marshmallows.
Santa, do something!
Santa was scared now. He didn't know what to do. The sleigh was spinning out of control. He needed to turn off the jingle bot. He looked for the off switch, but he couldn't find it. The sleigh was all over the place. It went up and down. It went side to side. It was as if the sleigh had a mind of its own, taking Santa and his reindeer on a wild, unpredictable journey through the night sky. The stars blurred as they zipped past, and the moon seemed to dance around them. Santa's grip tightened on the reins, but it was no use. The sleigh had become a runaway train, and there was no stopping it.
Santa, hold on tight! The elf's voice was filled with panic, his eyes wide with fear. He had never seen anything like this before. The sleigh was supposed to be a symbol of joy and magic, but now it was a terrifying beast, threatening to throw them all into chaos.
Santa held on tight. He was getting tossed around like a toy. He felt sick. The wind whipped through his beard, and his hat flew off into the night. He could barely keep his eyes open as the sleigh bucked and twisted. Every muscle in his body ached from the strain of holding on. He had faced many challenges in his long life, but nothing like this.
This is madness. What's going on? The reindeer were just as panicked as Santa and the elves. Their usually graceful movements were now erratic and desperate. They snorted and whinnied, their eyes wide with fear. The elf's voice was barely audible over the howling wind and the creaking of the sleigh.
He wished he had never bought the jingle bot. The reindeer were confused. They couldn't understand what was happening. The jingle bot was supposed to make things easier, to help guide the sleigh with precision and efficiency. But now, it was the source of their troubles. Santa's heart sank as he realized the gravity of his mistake. The once trusty reindeer were now at the mercy of a malfunctioning machine.
We need to steer this thing! The elf's voice was urgent, but there was a hint of determination. They couldn't just give up. Santa and the elves pulled with all their might, trying to wrest control from the rogue Jinglebot. The sleigh jerked and swayed, but it was no use. The machine had a grip on the reins, and it wasn't letting go.
They tried to steer the sleigh, but it wouldn't listen. The Jinglebot was in control, and it was losing its mind. The sleigh spun wildly, the reindeer struggling to keep up. The Jinglebot's lights flickered erratically, and its mechanical voice sputtered nonsense. It was clear that the machine was malfunctioning, but there was no way to shut it down.
Malfunction! Malfunction! The Jinglebot's voice was a harsh, grating sound, echoing through the night. It was supposed to be a helpful assistant, but now it was a nightmare. The robot's arms flailed wildly, and its eyes glowed a menacing red. It was out of control, and there was nothing they could do to stop it.
The sleigh crashed through a billboard. It skimmed over a mountaintop. It even did a loop-de-loop. The world was a blur of lights and colors as the sleigh careened through the night. They narrowly missed trees and rooftops, the wind whistling in their ears. The sleigh's wild maneuvers left them all dizzy and disoriented.
Hang on, everyone. The elf's voice was a beacon of hope in the chaos. They had to hold on, to stay together. The reindeer, though terrified, responded to the call. They pulled with all their might, trying to regain some semblance of control. Santa's heart swelled with pride at their bravery.
Santa closed his eyes. He just wanted it to stop. The noise, the chaos, the fear. It was all too much. He took a deep breath, trying to find a moment of calm in the storm. He thought of Mrs. Claus, of the warm fire waiting for him at home. He had to believe that they would make it through this, that they would find a way to stop the Jinglebot and bring the sleigh back under control. With a final desperate prayer, he held on tight, hoping for a miracle. Section 6. Wrong way down. Suddenly, the sleigh stopped spinning. It was falling. It was falling fast. Santa opened his eyes. He looked down. He saw trees. He saw houses. He saw sand. Why is there sand? Thought Santa. He looked around. The snowstorm was gone. The sun was shining. And the sleigh was headed straight for a beach. The sleigh crashed onto the beach. It landed with a thud. Sand flew everywhere. People screamed and ran. Santa was buried up to his neck in sand. Section 7. Reindeer to the rescue. The reindeer popped out of the sand, shaking off the grains that clung to their fur. It was a surprising sight, seeing these majestic creatures emerge from the desert-like terrain, but they were resilient and determined. They were covered in sand, but they were fine. Their thick coats protected them from the harsh elements, and their spirits remained unbroken. They had a mission to accomplish, and nothing was going to stand in their way. They always landed on their feet. Agile and sure-footed, the reindeer were built for endurance and strength. They quickly assessed their surroundings, ready to take on the next challenge. They looked at the crashed sleigh. It was a sorry sight, with parts scattered and the once glorious vehicle now a wreck. But the reindeer knew that with teamwork and determination, they could restore it. They looked at the Jinglebot. The high-tech helper was supposed to make their job easier, but it had malfunctioned. The reindeer realized that sometimes the old ways were the best ways. Then they looked at Santa. He was dusting himself off, a look of concern on his face. The reindeer knew they had to act fast to save Christmas.
Maybe high-tech isn't always better. The reindeer pondered this thought, realizing that their natural abilities and instincts were more reliable than any gadget.
The other reindeer nodded. They had always trusted their instincts and each other. It was time to put their skills to the test. They had tried to warn Santa. They knew the risks of relying too much on technology, but now they had to show him that they could handle the situation. They knew the old sleigh was better. It had been through countless adventures and had never let them down. It was a symbol of tradition and reliability. The reindeer got to work. With a sense of purpose, they began to pull together, each one knowing exactly what to do. Their teamwork was impeccable, a testament to their bond and training. They pulled the sleigh out of the sand. It was a tough job, but their combined strength made it possible. Slowly but surely, the sleigh began to take shape again. They used their hooves to fix the broken parts. Each reindeer took on a specific task, using their unique skills to mend the damage. It was a sight to behold. They even used their antlers to pull out a loose wire. Their resourcefulness knew no bounds, and they worked with precision and care. They were good at this. The reindeer stood back to admire their work, feeling a sense of accomplishment. They had proven that with determination and teamwork, they could overcome any obstacle. Santa smiled at his loyal team. With the sleigh repaired and ready to go, they were back on track to deliver joy and gifts to children around the world. The reindeer had truly come to the rescue. As they took to the skies, the reindeer felt a renewed sense of purpose. They knew that no matter what challenges lay ahead, they could always rely on each other and their timeless skills. The night sky was their domain, and they soared with confidence and grace. The stars twinkled above, guiding them on their journey. The reindeer were more than just Santa's helpers. They were heroes in their own right. With the moonlight casting a magical glow, the reindeer pressed on. They had saved the day, and now they were ready to spread joy and wonder to every corner of the world. Reindeer to the rescue indeed. Section 8. Sand, Surf, and Santa. Santa finally got out of the sand. He was covered in sand. He was a mess. He looked at the reindeer. They were cleaning up his mess. He felt embarrassed.
I guess I got carried away.
He knew he had made a mistake. He should have listened to the reindeer. The old ways were sometimes the best. The reindeer finished fixing the sleigh. They took out the Jinglebot. They put it to the side. Santa helped them put the old controls back in. It felt good to be back in the old sleigh. Section 9. The best way to fly. Santa and the reindeer took off. They flew over the ocean. They waved goodbye to the beach. Santa looked at the stars. He felt grateful for his reindeer. They had saved the day.
Next year, we're sticking to the old sleigh.
The reindeer all laughed. They liked the sound of that. They knew that sometimes the best way to fly was the old-fashioned way. And so, Santa learned a valuable lesson that Christmas. He learned that new isn't always better. And he learned that sometimes, the best technology is the kind that has been working for centuries.